least at one point or another, has a fear of putting themselves out there, especially if you want to create something and put it out into the world. And I myself had a big dose of this fear recently, and I wanted to share my story with you in hopes that you can take away some tips or insights in order to help you overcome your fears. So back in December, while I was planning out my year for 2013, I had decided that I wanted to create some video classes for my shop. And I marked my calendar. I wanted them to launch about mid-February, and my first idea was to do a stamp carving video. But by the end of January, beginning of February, I noticed, uh-oh, I haven't even begun on this project yet. Something was holding me back and I couldn't get myself to start. And I realized I had a big fear stopping me. And, I was wondering, is this going to be good enough? Are people going to want it? And I had a real block there. So my first step in overcoming this fear was to first ask myself, okay, what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen if I make this video and put it in my shop? Are people going to laugh at me for making a stamp carving video? Probably not. So what's the worst that can happen? I'd probably, spend some of my time and, either people are going to be interested or they're not. So, okay, that wasn't so bad of an outcome. So my next step in trying to overcome my fear was to do some research. I looked around on Amazon and I discovered a few stamp carving books. So, okay, people are interested in learning this kind of thing, and there wasn't too much competition, but there's books out there and they were getting good feedback. And I also looked on Google Keywords tool. You can search up that tool and you'll be able to type in keywords to see how many people are doing searches on a particular thing. And I found out that 74,000 people a month were searching for how to make a stamp. So I'm like, all right, people are searching for this. They're looking for how to make their own stamps. So that gave me some comfort there. And then my next step was to reach out to the people who I might be offering this to. So on my Facebook page, I started posting photos of the stamps that I was making, and I was getting a lot of good feedback on that, and people seemed to be really interested. So that gave me the courage to take my first step into making this thing. So my first step was to actually plan the video and start filming. And it was a really scary first step. It's really hard to take your first step. But once you take that first step, it starts propelling you forward, especially if you've already introduced the idea to the people you'll be offering it to. So once I was able to take that first step in filming the video, I was able to take a look at it and I said, okay, this is working out to be pretty good. It's an in-depth video and it's quite different than anything else I've ever seen. People might actually get some great value out of this and really like it. So I got really excited to get this thing finished. So it helped really push me to keep going. And hopefully by next week it will be finished and in my shop. So if you've had a fear similar to mine about creating something and putting out into the world, try following my few steps to overcoming that fear. The first step was to think about what's the worst that can happen. What's the worst that can happen if you create this thing and put it out into the world? The second step is to do some research. Look up on Google Keywords tool to see if people are searching for something similar. Look through books and classes and different things to see if there's anything similar, if there's any interest in your topic. And the third thing was to get in touch with real people, people who you might be offering it to. See if there's any excitement or interest in what you have to offer. And the fourth step is to simply take that first step in creating it. Because you never know, that first step might propel you to the end. Taking that first step will give you the courage into finishing it. So I hope this has helped you, and I hope you keep going, because everyone has fears. Everyone. And as long as you take the steps to move past it, you can do anything. I thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.